There's trauma that lives in all of us from this time where we were all so scared.
We got started with a monitoring system. When my ex and I separated, it was pretty obvious that she had a drinking problem. And my kids were really little. They were 3 and 5 at the time. And we started to divide up custody and custody arrangements. And I was very fearful about having them go to her house because it was, like I said, very obvious that she was drinking heavily. They were little. They have no concept at, the ages of 4 and 6, or even, I think, beyond that, of what alcohol abuse looks like. They would every once in a while tell me things like, oh, mommy was bumping into walls the other day, or mommy had a hard time turning on the TV, or there would be just little things when they would talk about her, understanding what it looks like for somebody to be drunk. I would know that she was drunk, but they didn't have any concept of that. To them, it was just, this is my parent that I love, and they're here to protect me and take care of me. And so at that time, we didn't have anything else in place other than just kind of our word that she wasn't going to drink when she had the kids. I wasn't going to drink when I had the kids. And that was kind of all we had. So we didn't have any sort of monitoring or anything before that time. Originally, we just started with some provisions that she couldn't drink when the kids were in the house. I couldn't drink when the kids were in our custody. And we did that for about, probably 4 or 5 months. And then she got a DWI on the way to pick up the kids from preschool. I was out of town. It was her custody night. And I got a call at 6:30 from their daycare saying no one's been here to pick up the kids. So that kind of put everything in motion. We had, it was unfortunate for her. It was an unfortunate situation, but it was fortunate in our case because what that did was allow me in court to have some evidence that her drinking was out of control. She was a danger to herself. She was a danger to our children. And so something needed to happen. And it wasn't until the DWI that we had solid evidence that she obviously had an addiction and she had a problem, and that there needed to be something else in place when the kids were with her to make sure that she was sober and that they were safe. When we started using BACtrack View, that system was set up so that I was always in control of the system. I set the dates that she was testing. I set the times that she was testing. I got alerts every single time she tested, whether it was positive or negative or it was missed. And so once that happened, we, for the last 5 years, have not had to go back to court. I have not had to talk to my lawyers at all. I've had no sort of retainer or interaction with them because the BACtrack View has worked to make sure that every time she had custody of the kids that she was sober when she was with them. And so I would get a text on my phone at those 4 times a day every time the kids were with her, and I would open the app and I would check it and make sure it was 0 every single time. And for my daughter, that gave her a sense of reassurance for sure. You're going to be able to tell that mommy's okay when we're there, right? And I would assure her, yes, I'm going to be able to tell that mommy's okay. I get every time, 4 times a day, I'm going to get it on my phone and I'm going to know. And if there's ever a time that I'm worried about it or that I see that she's drinking again, I will get in the car and I will come pick you up immediately. I know that for my daughter, that made her feel safe when she was over at my ex's house because she would tell me that. And she would ask it every time before she went for the weekend. And, I would just assure her every single time, I'm going to know you're okay. I'm going to make sure you're okay. And I will be there if you're not. So I would 100% recommend that anytime a parent has a concern about alcohol abuse from their co-parent, that lawyers should 100% of the time recommend BACtrack View. I really wish that I had known somebody or had heard from somebody or a testimonial of somebody who had gone through this process before. I have told everybody all of the time. It's a really important, like, you don't know what to do, and they're your babies, they're your heart, and they're going to this other place. And again, like, it was hard and it was difficult, and we got through it, and my ex is in a much better place, and she's, like I said, as far as I know, she's been sober now 5 years, maybe 6. We got through it on the other side, and I think that BACtrack was a kind of a critical part of that for all of us.